Welcome back to Hoochos, you sickos. Maybe I should have named the upcoming Hoochos website Root Hub. It just had like a ton of pictures of like roots of hydroponic plants. I reckon that'd get a way more traffic than the one I'm creating. Anyway, you didn't come here to see me ramble, you came here to see this. That's right, the beans are coming out. But first, let's have a look at some of the other roots in the other systems that I've made by disassembling a few of them. So first things first, I'm doing a general tidy up of this area because we're putting driveway through so I can build a shed out the back. Uh, so these broad beans have to go. It's a shame because they're in full flower and fruit, but it does mean that I get to show you the root mass created within that compact flood and drain hydroponic system bed. Let's cut it down. All right. So now, because I don't want to lose all the clay balls, I'm going to tip it into a wheelbarrow, and that'll allow me to just clean the balls out of the root ball of the plant. Oh, that is a healthy root ball. Look at that. Now you can see the inlet and the exit for the flood and drain pipes, and just like take a second to appreciate all those roots. Nice. And even at the bottom where it should, have sitting water. I mean, realistically, in a flood and drain, it shouldn't have sitting water, but it will. Um, the roots are healthy. There's no sign of disease. And if we break it apart, nice and loose, like the nutrient solution was just able to pass straight through all the roots and give us that nice green growth. And that won't be impossible for me to get those clay balls out. Nice. Here's the bottom of the tub. If you pull these out, sometimes you get like yeah. So see how the roots start growing into your pipes. It's not too bad though. Like I was expecting maybe some blockage at some point, but the return one is the one you really need to worry about because if that clogs, the bed overflows. So try and have that above where the roots, where you can see it. It's a balancing act between keeping that nutrients below the clay pebble line and keeping this high enough so that the roots don't follow it in. But they generally don't because that's the top of your flood. So um, yeah, not too much of a problem with that in this system, which is good. So I'm going to be a bit distracted this whole video because I've been incubating ducklings and I just became a father. It's a baby duck. So I can't not check on it every 5 minutes. Anyway, um, one life begins and another ends. I don't want to pull this system apart because it's done so well. This is the ancient hydroponic method. I can't bring myself to pull uh, this terra planter apart because it's beautiful. Like I'm gonna leave it and see how far these plants can develop. I'll pull the grass off the grass one because it's just grass. But let's pull apart this ancient hydroponic. technique device. All right. I've got water so that I can save. I'm not going to save any of the rocket. The rocket can go to the chickens. But I'm going to save the dill. And I think, I can't remember what the other stuff was. Spinach? Anyway. All right, so to begin with, I'm just going to see how much is left in the reservoir. Okay, so it's still full. Let's see if I can. There we go. And we'll just remove that res. Oh, it's in tight. Oh, no way. Holy moly, look at that. Holy, that is just proof pudding that it works. Look at those roots. Look how white it is. And the dimple at the bottom where, look at that. You can actually see it. It's like the plants have just eaten that 50-50 mix. Pushed it out of the way to get to that side. And look at, and if you can actually see the marks that the roots have left. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Could you tell? I don't even think you need a reservoir anymore. You could probably just fill the middle up with hydroponic nutrient and just look. Yep, you could just fill that up with nutrient and the roots are now the reservoir. Like, all right, I'm gonna see if I can get these dill out. Oh, have a look at that. That's unbelievable. That's held completely together by roots. Look at that. And we can get all of that vermiculite perlite mix off with our transplant technique. And I mean, I'm going to have to break some of these roots to get them apart because they're just so intermingled, but they will bounce back and I'll have nice, healthy dill plants. Look at that. And here is the center, and it's so thick that I can actually just pull the center roots like this. We've got a root basket. It's like a fabric pot except made of roots. That's crazy. Inside out. Look at that. That's thick. Like, yeah, that's that. Now that is root porn. All right, so I'm not sure how this one's going to go because I did stick it on, so I'm not sure if it's just going to peel off the way I want it to, but let's try. It is. Look at that. That's roots. They're just roots. That's not the jute fabric. So there you go. Grass growing, well, in jute fabric. Look at that. There's your roots, and they've air pruned or air cropped along the bottom there. Healthy roots though. Look at that. So you can see, the line at which um, that nutrient solution sitting on that at the bottom of that terracotta Oya, or terra planter. So if you're going to make a device like this, just take into account that you're probably going to get most of your growth in that area. And it's the same pretty much on the other system. So, yeah. So it's now time. This is the one you've been waiting for. I mean, weeks. It overflowed a couple of times, and I have made some adjustments to the ends that I'm going to cover on another flow rate video in the near future. Those adjustments include taps on each of the individual channels on the 13mm piping, but that's for a future video. That's how I stopped the overflowing on the beans. And now it's time. I'm going to go through and harvest what's left, and then we can cut the stems and look at the roots. Some of them have been left on the vine just a bit too long. We just had too many beans. We couldn't pick them all. And I'm not going to pick the rest now because there's just so many. I'm going to kill the plants, and then I'll get them once the leaves are wilted and they're easy to see. All right, let's kill the plants. This is harder than it looks because you do get attached, and I'm attached. So these are the taps I was talking about. I've limited the flow to that just to stop the pipe overflowing, and it's kind of just had them existing at the moment. So I can turn the flow off to this one, open up the end of the channel. There's our roots. All right, so they should just pull out. Oh, so that's the first little chunk that's come out, but I'm probably going to have to push from the other end to get them out in one long piece. No. I don't know if I can get this shot for you. Come on. All right, here we go. Oh, no. Oh. That's why you're here. Holy crap. Look at those roots. All right. Well, hope you enjoyed this episode of Hoochos. Thanks for watching. Consider becoming a Patreon. I'll see you next time on Hoochos. Oh, look at them. Why do people wear fur? They could just wear roots. My root coat. Oh, you look horrified, Floki.